Hello, boys and girls out there. We're going to talk about line graphs. Line graphs. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to tell me what a line graph is. You should be able to draw a line graph. You should also be able to answer questions about line graphs. Now let's get started. Right, if we look at this graph, this is an example of a line graph. At the top of the graph, you find the title of the graph. The title of this graph is the temperature of our classroom. Right, if you look at the graph, let's start by the numbers and the titles you are seeing at the sides. Let's start with this side where we see temperature in degrees Celsius. This means temperature in degrees Celsius. The scale that is used must be uniform. Like in this case, you can see 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You are not supposed to say 0, 1, 15, 25. No. It must be uniform. At the bottom, we have time in hours. The first recording was done at 1 hour. After 1 hour is gone. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10 hours. So this whole exercise was done in 10 hours. Now let's look inside the graph. There we have a line that has got some dots. These dots are the plotting of the graph that we've done. You are going to see that later in this lesson. So here we've got this dot. It was plotted at the first hour. Let me get something. Here at 1. There is it, there it is. Right, so 1, at the first hour, the temperature was 15 degrees. Right, let me take another one. Let's say at the 5th hour, which had the highest, you can see that's where the peak of the graph is. It was around 24 degrees Celsius. If we look at this, if we draw a line from there, joining to that end there, by dividing into 5 equal parts, we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why we said this is 24. So this is an example of a line graph. The most important thing is to read the line graph and draw the line graph. Let me take at the 9th hour. The 9th hour, the temperature that was recorded was 15 degrees Celsius. And at the 10th hour is the lowest temperature that was recorded there, which is about 12.5 degrees Celsius, but you can say 12 or 13. You are still okay by saying that. Right, now let's move on to see if we can draw our own line graphs. So we are given some information here. The information that we're given is shown here. You can see hours up to 9 hours, and you can see kilometers cycled. So this is telling us that probably this graph is about cycling. So what we are going to do, we are going to start by drawing some lines on our graph. The lines that are going from the top to the bottom. We get a line that goes there. Then we've got another line that goes there. We'll get back to our graph, to the information that is provided for us here. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 9. We're supposed to have this on the graph. So in equal intervals, 1, 2, 3. You can see I'm writing on the line, not on the boxes or on the gaps. We write these things on the line. 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 was the last hour that was. Now we look at the kilometers cycled. So obviously we start again from the 0. And the minimum I have there is 4. The maximum I have there is 28, sorry. On the line, we write again 4, 8, 12. At the bottom there is time in hours. Now that we have the skeleton of the graph that we're going to put inside, we've labeled the axis. So it's time for us to put the graph itself. So we started the 1 hour. 1 hour it was 4. So 1 hour is 4. Then we go to the second hour. It was 6. Let me dot what I've taken there. Second hour was 6. So I go to 2, I go there, 4, 6, somewhere there. We go to the third hour. Third hour is 8, so this is 8 there. Put a dot. We go to the fourth hour, it's 12. Fourth hour is 12. We go there, there is 12 there. Then fifth hour is 15. Fifth hour is 15. So we've got 14. 15 is between 14 and 16. Now we go to the sixth hour. Sixth hour is 18. 18 is here. Get it? Seventh hour is 23. Go up there. 20, 24, 22. 24, so 23 is in between there. We go to the 8th hour. The 8th hour is 27. We go up there. 24, 26, 27 before we get to 28. Then the 9th hour is 28. After we've done that, we have to join these points on our graph using a straight line. So that's what we are going to do now. We start from here, I join there, then I join another one from there to there. I'm just joining the points that I have done already. So this must be done with a ruler so that it looks nice. So that it looks nice. You join the points, you join all the points. We only join the points according to the data we are given. You see, I did not put anything that goes to 0 because on the data that I'm given, there is no 0. Okay, so now we have our graph that is drawn like this. Right, you should be able to answer questions from your own graph. Like in this case, what was the longest distance that the man cycled? So here we have it at the top there, 28. Then somebody can ask you, at what hour was the person 18 kilometers? So you go 16, 18. You come, there you are, you go down, the 6 hours. After 6 hours, the man had cycled 18 kilometers. So that's almost all about what you need to know about this graph at the moment. So you are going to use the data that I were provided with there. You can see it on the screen. So at this moment, you have to pause your video and get a book. So you start writing just like what we have done before. If you did not understand, please rewind and revise. Okay. After that, you have drawn, you have paused your video, you have drawn. You go to the next thing. You're going to answer these questions. They're based on the line graph you have just drawn. Okay. You can answer your questions and forward your answers to me. We have finished doing our graphs. We have drawn our graphs. We have answered the questions. So are you now able to tell me what a line graph is? If your answer is yes, well done. Are you now able to draw a line graph? If you have drawn a line graph that is nice, well done. Are you now able to answer questions about a line graph? If you have answered the questions from the previous screen correctly, well done. Thank you, boys and girls. We'll meet again in the next video. Enjoy learning with Cloud Junior Online Tutoring. Thank you so much.